Okay. Hello, we are here with Somerset Film doing a live stream for the day. We're celebrating the opening of the engine room. Somerset Film moved here in 2003, so it's their 21st birthday. But in the last 3 years, it's been having some renovations. So there's a new Shepherd studio, which we're in today, lots of various other places, and that's what we're celebrating today. And we're going to be talking to some people coming in, asking about their connections to Somerset Film, what they think of the place. Yeah, but we can start with our connections.
So, my name is Grace Morgan, and I'm a writer-director. I was on the BFI Film Academy course in, I think it was 2021, and it was all online, which was really interesting. But I think it helped us think outside of the box, so it was very good. Yeah, what about you?
Yeah. So I'm Ruby Downing-Martin. I did the BFI Film Academy course in 2022. I'm now a student studying film, probably looking to go into camera, maybe a bit of directing at some point, but we'll see. So yeah, Somerset Film has definitely created our connections to film.
don't know, what does that say? Is that on?
No. So as two young filmmakers, I think we both think that Somerset Film is a really important charity to have,
Yeah.
especially in a really rural area, of course.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely like one of the closest production companies to me, otherwise, like outside of having to travel to a city. So it is really nice to have this so close by. Yeah, they've been so like helpful with all of our projects so far.
Yeah, also incredibly accessible
Yeah.
and everything. And especially in the BFI courses, which is what me and Grace have more experience in, the films that we made in that, I think, have made us learn quite a lot about what we wanted to do, what we were interested in.
Yeah. And I produced and directed my first short film whilst on the BFI Academy course, and that was all done online. So I would like screen record through Zoom and FaceTime, like with the other actors, and then we'd just like stitch it together. So yeah, like I said before, it's just like really thinking outside the box, in terms of how to make a film. Yeah, and adapting like really quickly. But yeah, it was really fun.
Yeah. Our film, it's not the best film in the world that I think I've made, but still taught me a lot about, especially how to, oh my gosh, communicate with actors and other people on set, and how communication is a really important thing when making films. And that was all provided through Somerset Film.
Yeah, and they've been great at supporting me like post BFI course. They really supported on my next film that I made called On My Level. Just being really supportive. They helped me with like the kit, with insurance, and just like general support in case I wasn't sure what I was doing in some aspects. So yeah, they were a great help.
Yeah. They've also really supported me, I think, in giving me opportunities to help others make films and kind of tutor young people in making a film. And I've worked with some children, some young people who made a brilliant film not that a couple of weeks ago. And it's just eye-opening to see creativity between different people and how everyone thinks of things very differently.
Let's move on to favourite films.
Grace, what's your favourite film?
I do like Baby Driver is a good one for like the editing and
Fair enough.
sound and stuff, music.
Yeah.
How about you?
My favourite film is Moulin Rouge.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Because I think it's the colours.
Mm-hmm.
I really like the colours. Editing, but I really like some of the shots as well. Some of the camera work is very good. But yeah.
Cool.
And now in a minute we might bring on someone that is not so familiar with Somerset Film, but they can share their kind of point of view of what they think of the new renovations.
Hi, Grace.
Hello.
I was introduced by my dear friend Ruby, who's now behind the camera. I'm Mika. I'm the one who has a little connection to Somerset Film as of today. So I'm studying with Ruby at we're studying film together, and I'm from Germany originally. And coming here specifically to Somerset Film, I was quite surprised because it is very different to the kind of institutions we have back home. Our main thing is very much more theater and like performing arts. So as a German interested in film, I'm very excited to see that these kind of institutions exist. So like I guess my question to you is, how do you find these things in your area? Because like when I came here, I didn't even know these things existed. I didn't know these opportunities were something I could, take advantage of. So how did you like learn about these kind of things, and how do you take the most advantage of them?
Yeah, so I think I found out about Somerset Film, I believe it was through like the BFI Film Academy, like maybe on like Facebook. But I know like newsletters and like email lists are also really good ways of hearing about these places. Obviously, social media, and also just like if you just came here to visit, like you kind of, this is a really, really like cool building. But yeah, I think it's just like trying to, I mean, if you're in this industry, I think you'll kind of be doing a bit of research anyways. So I think it's just like keeping an eye out, looking at social media and checking emails and stuff.
Keep your friendly feelers out.
Yeah.
Make some friends.
Yeah, definitely. I think networking and connections is a big thing in this industry too. It's like word of mouth and like talking to people who maybe know of places like this kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, like Grace said, it's a very cool building. So if you're near the engine room area and you want to visit, our doors are in fact open. And then you could sit right here with us and have a chit chat about your life, your opinions, what you like about film, what you don't. It's all very open and fun. I'm just really excited to be here. Like I said, I would have never dreamt of something like this. But you're right, keeping your friendly feelers open will get you to some places you never expected to visit. So it's very nice.
I'm on Do Not Disturb.
Pardon?
I'm on Do Not Disturb.
So if you'd both like to introduce yourselves and then just talk a bit about your connection to the entry at Somerset.
Okay. Why don't you start, Dylan? Because
Why
you are a
don't-
trustee.
Well, I wasn't
I'm just a
going to
visitor.
mention the fact I'm a trustee. I was going to pretend to be somebody completely different on the grounds that if I mention that I'm a trustee, you might ask me awkward questions because I've only just become a trustee. So I am a new trustee to Somerset Film, and therefore I'm lurking around here today in the hope of being fed and given drinks and people being nice to me, which is quite rare, really. So that's why I'm here, and that's what I'm doing. I brought David along, who's a far more serious and sensible person, I think.
Really? Seldom described in those terms. But I am David, he got that right. And I'm here because it's very cool. The renovation of this place, I think, is really cool. It's really nice. And you've got tremendous opportunities to do stuff here. I'm a former television producer, and I'm now a YouTuber because it's easier for older people to deal with YouTube than make documentary films, which needs all kinds of secondary skills that I don't have. So I've come really along here to see where this organisation fits into the spectrum of what people are doing with film and video in Somerset, and it was very kind of Dylan to invite me along, and I'm finding it absolutely fascinating.
Had you been to Somerset Film before?
No, I didn't even know anything about it.
Sorry, could I ask you to come into the picture to ask the questions? Because you see, you've just got the two of us and this voice, so you'll have to. That's it. So now you're in the picture. That's great. So who are you?
I am Ruby.
Hi, Ruby.
Hi, Ruby.
Very nice to meet you. I have not done a live stream before.
No, nor have I.
We'll see how it goes.
That's good.
What drew you to Somerset Film?
Well, actually, the chair of the trustees, Pauline, came round with a baseball bat and threatened my collection of small glass animals if I didn't come along. So I came along to Somerset Film. She insisted I had something to offer. I'm still trying to find out what that might be. As you can tell, I take a lot of things very seriously. And at some point, no doubt that'll happen with Somerset Film. In the meantime, just one nice place full of nice people and lots of toys. I like it.
I like the sound of the baseball bat treatment. Would you? I don't think I've got small glass precious things. So I hate to think what she would choose in my case.
Well, Pauline is really quite a subtle operator. She just knew that the only way she could get through to me was with threatening my collection of small glass animals.
So had you done anything to do with film or art previously?
Well, I was asked when I came to the first trustees meeting to introduce myself. And I said my only knowledge of film was to be acting as a French soldier in a cheap Chinese film when I was in Hong Kong. And I was obviously really good because I was already dead when the role started. And after about half an hour of lying very carefully still, I found that the whole film crew had moved on somewhere else. And I was just still lying, expecting to be filmed. So I guess I come to Somerset Film from the perspective of someone with no knowledge, no skills, and therefore bring perhaps a slightly different perspective to things.
Yeah.
Okay. Does that work?
No, you can't just stop it. It's not at your discretion.
You do documentary film?
I did. I was a TV producer. So I was with the BBC, and then I had my own company. And I stopped doing that about 15 years ago. Okay. And then I had to decide what I do next with no people to help me like you have when you're making films in television or other bodies like that. So I've moved towards doing things on my own on YouTube, which is quite interesting. And I'm finding it absolutely fascinating. It's another world.
Brilliant. And finally, what are your favourite films?
Oh boy, that's a tough one, really.
One of my favourites, well, two come to mind immediately. One is Diva. It's a French film.
Okay.
Yeah, I loved it. Just loved Diva. And the other one that comes to mind instantly is Brazil. More modern films, I don't get to watch much films. I've heard there's this thing called Netflix that my children tell me I should waste time on. But no, Diva, a stunning film. I wish I could tell you more about it. Brazil, absolutely extraordinary film. Love it to bits. I'm sure there'll be others.
Oh gosh, I'm going to have to get the names right, aren't I? I'm thinking now about something I've seen relatively recently, and it's a Japanese film. It might be called Perfect Day. And do you know the film? And the story is of this guy who does nothing else but clean toilets every day because his life has gone horribly wrong. And it's a study in coming to terms with that. And you learn to really respect the guy, and it kind of saves him as well, because he's no longer sensitive about what he's doing. All that matters is that he does it well.
I was told about that film 2 days ago by a friend who does watch an awful lot of films.
What is the name?
I don't know. Perfect Day could well be right, but I remember the description, and he says it's just a brilliant film.
It's a brilliant film, because whoever would think you could make, a 90-minute film which is absolutely absorbing about a guy cleaning Japanese toilets, which you see him doing every day.
Great.
Yeah.
And your favourite film?
Moulin Rouge.
Moulin Rouge.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a strange one.
Yeah.
It's very
Why? What would you say as an explanation of that choice?
I think it's probably something to do with the colour, and I think it might have been the first time when I watched it. It was the first time I realised that you could, because maybe it's a jukebox musical. I don't know if you classify it as that, but it was the first time I realised you could like mix and match songs and make
No, I don't think you could. Jukebox musical would not really be fair.
Right.
No.
But it uses songs that already exist.
I
I
get
just
that.
think it's really fun.
Beautifully made.
Don't know it. So there you go. I'll add it to my list. Well, you
So
say
thank
finally.
you for having us.
There you go. Just a little short interview.
Great. Well, and it's been fun and relatively painless.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Enjoy the rest of the day.
Yeah, good. Well,
We will.
Thank you.
And thank you for joining in.
That's
So if you want to start off by just introducing yourself and your connection to Somerset Film.
Sure. Do you want me to camera or to you?
To me,
Okay. So I'm Becky Armory. I am the Town Hall Theatre and Arts Centre Manager, and I work for, well, that's part of Bridgwater Town Council. I've known about Somerset Film since probably about 2016 and known Deb since that time, and Phil Shepherd, and we've had lots of crossover. So we work together on the cultural partnership, helping sort of put together days where like Quayside Festival, where we've been able to animate the town.
Yeah. Amazing. Why do you think Somerset Film is important?
So I think the work that Somerset Film does is hugely engaging for both the community and a wider audience. And I think what it does is it makes things like filming, technology, much more accessible in many ways for the community on many levels.
And what do you think of the new building?
It's incredible. It's so lovely. It feels historical, yet very modern. The construction and the sort of the industrial nature of the building, the artistic side of that is not lost on me. And I think it's really important that Somerset Film kind of really worked with the building that they have. And I think they've done an incredible job, yeah.
Brilliant. And then the last question we're asking people is, what is your favourite film?
Ooh. That's a tough one. The first thing that springs to mind is Goonies.
Okay.
I don't know if it is still.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go with that. Goonies.
Brilliant. And I think that's everything. So
Cool.
Thank you for...
You're welcome. Which I understand they're going to be doing something with Goonies in the next couple of years. Anybody know what I'm talking about? No, I'm sure I saw something.
Just speak for us a little bit.
Bar Black Sheep, have you any wool? Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Perfect. Okay. Then we're ready to go.
Perfect. So we'll start off. So if you just want to say your name and your connection to Somerset Film.
So my name is Alex Rowland, and my connection is I run a project for neurodiverse autistic folk with learning disabilities just below here every Thursday. So yeah.
And why do you think Somerset Film is important?
So it provides an amazing kind of, I hate to use the phrase safe space, but it is a safe space and it's great. And the guys who work here are so welcoming. Many of the people we support, you know, neurodiverse folk, autistic folk, they're kind of like the most, sort of least socially mobile, shall we say. So having a space where we can come and we can do projects and kind of everyone's treated equally, and yeah, it's just I just love the inclusivity of it all. It's just such an amazing space, and just being able to access the kind of cutting edge technology and all that stuff. It's incredible because you can show guys, you know, you can put VR headsets on guys and let them see stuff that they've never experienced. And I love that. I love the way that technology is being used to kind of, yeah, it's normally we wouldn't have access to that. So having Somerset Film is brilliant.
And how has like the building changed since you first like saw it?
Yeah, so I mean, yeah, I remember coming in days when it was, you know, we had the internet cafe and stuff, and you know, that was a big thing. Like, you could actually get online reliably and stuff, and all of that. And to see it grow and expand, and I love the way that it's just, what the guys have done here now is brilliant. It's so great. And we usually occupy the main space downstairs, and it's brilliant because we can run our gaming sessions in there, but we can also, we've just got all that access to the cafe, so the guys can socialize and chat, and it's lovely.
Amazing.
Really nice.
And lastly, what is your favourite film?
My favourite film. So I really I love 300, which is it's the story of the Spartans at Thermopylae. But I love the way it's filmed because it's live action, but it's done in a cartoon, almost a cartoonesque style. I love that. There are loads of films, but that's me go-to, like on a Sunday afternoon. Bit of cutting people's arms off, always good.
Amazing, thank you so much.
Thank you. That's great.
Hi, good to be here. I'm Grace.
Hi.
Ready? So if you want to start off by just stating your name and connection to Somerset Film.
My name is Glenn Burrows. I live in Bridgwater. Always felt that the engine room was a really exciting place, and it became particularly exciting for me in two ways. First of all, I became a volunteer, and this is quite a way back, and I worked in the coffee bar. What was the old coffee bar? But I used to come in on a Friday, and I used to play records. And it was called Vinally It's Friday, which some of you will understand that joke. So that was kind of a nice way to be involved and to meet people. But the other important way that I became involved was as a member of the Bridgwater Senior Citizens Forum, and we decided to make a radio programme. So we applied for funding from the lottery and got it, and so we worked with the engine room on this really special project. So we and the engine room taught us how to write things, write songs. We did poems, we did interviews, and we had a 3-day community radio broadcast, which was fantastic. It's still available online, and we really enjoyed that, and particularly enjoyed. I mean, the point we were trying to make was that, you know, when you become retired, you don't stop learning. You can still engage with new skills, new ideas, and the engine room understood that perfectly, and they were absolutely brilliant in encouraging us. And then because that worked so well, we decided we'd do a film, and so we became film stars. We did a film called In It Together, because at the time, a certain prime minister who was trying to pretend that society was that we were all working together, said we are in it together. But at the same time, that same government was actually trying to divide young people and old people, and make kind of young people feel angry that old people were taking jobs and all the rest of it. So what we were doing is saying, you know, we are in it together. Generations mustn't be divided. And so we did all the directing, all of the content ourselves, and learned how to make a film, which again was really exciting for a group of pensioners, and not the sort of thing you're supposed to do, but we really enjoyed it. So, I mean, that was you know, they were both really good learning experiences. But I've been involved with the engine room in lots of other ways in terms of meetings and organising. I helped organise a film festival at one stage, and yeah, always loved the work they do, and think Bridgwater's a better place for having the engine room.
And how do you think the engine room in Somerset Film like helps with the community, like local community?
Oh, well, I think a very important way, and I think the Seed Project is part of this, is that it gives people, it gives accessibility for people who perhaps don't see themselves as filmmakers or, you know, performers, but the engine room makes it seem easy. It helps people to learn new skills, and artistic and creative skills, which I think, you know, very often do get put in a kind of box that a lot of people feel isn't available to them. So the engine room is down to earth, available and engaging and inclusive, and that ticks all the boxes for me. I think it's great.
And lastly, what is your favourite film?
And
Or like a film you just generally like, what's a favourite film that you like?
Oh, blimey, what do you mean? Of all the films in the world, or one made by
Of
the
all the
engine
films
room?
you've watched, like just...
I am crazy about films. Singing in the Rain.
Okay,
And that's not
a
just
good
because of the
choice.
recent weather, but, you know, Gene Kelly is my all-time hero, because not only is he wondrous looking, but he can dance and sing. So that does it for me.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Shall I stop there?
Thank you.
I do go on too long.
Okay, hello. So, would you mind introducing yourself to everybody?
Okay. Generally?
Just generally, either to me or to the camera.
Hi, I'm Becky from Somerset Artworks.
Brilliant. And so, Becky, what's your sort of connection to Somerset Film throughout the years?
It's been quite a few years, actually. And I think what I think of most is all the people that I've worked with who've been here over the years. And I think it probably has been best part of 20 years. So in one capacity or another. So yeah, with Deb, with Phil, with Will, with Dan, with Richard, Natalie, Ali, probably lots of other people whose names I can't remember. But yeah, it's always been a real pleasure to work with Somerset Film, and it's really great to be here today and see the space.
Very nice. How did you first sort of get involved then? 20 years ago?
So I just saw Sue Ishwood downstairs, and we were just remembering that I used to work with her when she's working for the county council, and we were in a building just over a couple of streets away in Bridgwater at the library's headquarters building. And so when I was working with Sue, I think that was when I first knew about Somerset Film. And we'd come over here for meetings and various other things.
Yeah. And what do you think of the building, if you hadn't already seen it recently?
I've seen bits of it as it's been kind of slowly revealed. So it's great to see it get to this point. And I think over the last, I don't know how long it's been going on, the building, but I meet Deb at meetings and she's regularly saying, oh God, this has happened, asbestos or windows or this, that and the other. So actually to see that kind of process is coming to coming to a kind of finished reality is really nice. Yeah.
And what's your favourite film?
My favourite film? I'm not very good on films. I struggle with the attention to watch a whole one, but I do actually like going to cinema, so I don't watch much at home. I think I'm just going to have to say the most recent film that I've watched rather than my favourite, because I can't think of favourite. I watched a film called Joyride, which is an Irish film with Olivia Colman.
Yeah.
I was in Ireland and I watched it and I really enjoyed that. And so I've just come back from Ireland and I saw another Irish film when I was over there, whose name I can't actually remember, which was in the cinema over there. If I remember the name, it might pop into my brain, but it was with Éanna Hardwicke, who's the actor in it, because he's the younger brother of my friend. So that's why I went to watch it.
Brilliant. There we go.
Is that okay?
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And then we will just de-mic. Okay, so if you'd like to start by just introducing yourself.
Oh, I'm Kevin Preston.
Yeah, and what's your sort of connection to Somerset Film?
Well, not quite its first, but I was, in the very early days, the accountant for Somerset Film and Video, as it was then called.
Yeah.
I was last in this building when I think they opened a studio with a brand new smooth floor. Mm-hmm. So they could roll cameras around and not create any noise.
Yeah. And what do you think of the new recent renovations?
I think it's fabulous. When I first started working with Somerset Film, they didn't have this building.
Yeah.
They were peripatetic around Somerset, and Phil was involved then doing his work, the driving force. But getting the building, having a vision as to how it would be adapted, used, and It's been really impressive what they've done, and the cafe has been really interesting too. Well, it's been great to see how that's been a drop in and has been a front for the town of Bridgwater at the same time, and a good part of the system.
And do you have any kind of links to film, or was it just the accountancy?
Well, I was involved with a group of people who established the Regal Film Society in Minehead. And Phil reminded us this afternoon that he'd seen an advertisement I'd put in their first programme, and he thought, oh, there's an accountant who supports the arts. But otherwise, not really, no.
No, that's okay. And why do you think Somerset Film is important?
It supports young people who, and not just young people, but I mean, if young people want to be involved in this sort of thing, they don't necessarily have the facilities at school. So just from that perspective, I think it serves a role.
Yeah.
But it does help, these sorts of projects, modern creative activity helps, keep communities together and so on.
And finally, what is your favourite film?
I'll go, Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
Okay, there we go. Brilliant. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So thank you so much for joining us today. My first question is just, what's your name and what's your connection to Somerset Film?
So my name's Keith Thomas. I was involved in the town deal, so led the initial bid for the submitting for the town deal in the first place, securing the 24 million for the whole of Bridgwater, and then working on the individual projects with the project partners. So when Debs came up with the initial proposal, talked through with her the idea, the principles of what he was going to do, helping to kind of further inform the advantages, and then got that through the first sift of approval, and then worked on the business case to sign off the funding.
Was there any trouble? Like, were there any obstacles in finalizing these deals? Was it difficult?
At the time, no. So we could have spent at 40, 50 million pounds worth of projects. We had to bid for up to 25 million. We got just under 24 million awarded. So there were a lot more projects that could have been done and delivered in Bridgwater than was available. The prioritization process in terms of identifying the projects that would be in that 24 million, there were trying to remember back, so this was 21 when we were doing this. There was a batch of them that were straightforward and obvious, and then there was a battle between some of the others in terms of their deliverability, contribution to the town. And I think this one was already high up the agenda in terms of the community work that Somerset Film were doing, and locally, its local engagement, and a relatively small amount that they were actually asking for. And that's where I've just been talking to Deb now about the problems were the delivery of it, because of the, after that, construction costs, inflation, the challenges with asbestos, and just manoeuvring around in terms of changing the building. But they have done an amazing job in keeping tight to the budget.
Yeah. And so do you like the new building?
I love
Is
it.
it everything you hoped for?
I love it. It was hard to imagine it in concept because kind of the expansion space was kind of semi-derelict. The ideas and the principles, well, the principles of what they wanted, but adaptable and flexible space was straightforward. Actually visualizing that coming to life was a bit harder when made the first site visit. But I've been a couple of times whilst the construction work has been underway, but really thrilling to see it now finished and everyone enjoying it.
I think we're having a good time here as well.
Good.
So I guess you already touched on that, but why do you think Somerset Film or institutions like it are so important?
I think it's the reach. What was interesting, because I live in South Wales, so I didn't know much about Bridgwater and the context, and I learned a lot about Carnival, because Carnival was one of the other projects we supported. And then I think as I got to learn the projects that were coming forward and the activities that were underway, and that community reach, the connection. So it's hitting a number of kind of levels. So an advanced level, training, skills and development, but also access level in terms of really just giving community members something to do and be engaged in film and photography. And then I've learned even more as time has gone on. And so I still get the newsletters and the emails and notifications from them.
Oh, that's beautiful. And do you have a personal connection with film? Like, have you ever worked in film? Do you just enjoy it?
I did an O-level and A-level in photography many years ago. In the days when it was in the dark room and processing. So
much more difficult than it is today, I imagine.
So, but I've probably forgotten more than I currently use or remember.
Well, then, for our final question, we love to ask, what's your favorite film? There's so many to choose from.
I would say In the Heat of the Night.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Sidney Poitier and Rod Steiger. And it's the line of Rod Steiger, talk to me. Yeah, picks up the phone, talk to me. Yeah, that film is superb.
Yeah, that's a good answer. And thank you so much for our little conversation. And yeah.
Thank you very much.
I'll just take this. Thank you so much. Very, very fun.
Somerset Film colours.
Oh, this?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, okay. Oh, good.
And we're kind of matching too.
Yeah, well, actually, that is true. Yeah, we are
So there
matching.
you go.
Yeah.
It's meant to be.
Very good. Well, be gentle with me.
Now for the hard-hitting questions.
Yeah.
We'll start off easy. What's your name and what's your connection to Somerset Film?
So my name's Nathaniel Lucas. I am the program manager for the Bridgwater town deal. So was part of the team that secured funding in order to be able to do the extra work, sort of expanding the engine room. So that's my connection to engine room and Somerset Film.
Well, I guess I have to ask, are you happy with the new building?
I think it's amazing.
Yeah?
I've been quite a few times, sort of seen it when it's been kind of being built and those sorts of things. And I have been here since it's been finished as well. We came round and had a look around and stuff like that. But I think it's amazing. I have to be honest, like secret squirrel stuff now, probably my favourite town deal project. So there are 11 of them. This to me is the one that makes, like, just in terms of the impact on local residents and all those sorts of things, it's like, I'm very fond of this one, absolutely.
Could you expand more on the impact of the residents? Like, why is this such an important thing for the area?
So for me, it's just the opportunity for people to be able, like residents of Bridgwater and even bigger than that, residents of Somerset, to be able to come and to be able to kind of explore things around film, around digital, just being creative and stuff. And the cross section of individuals that, like, I have come here and seen, like, using the facilities is just is really amazing. And we've brought government representatives here on a number of occasions. In fact, they were here today and mingling around in the crowd as well, just to be able to see, to see what the engine room and Somerset Film have done and stuff like that. So I think it's a wonderful project.
Oh, that's so happy to hear. Do you have any personal connection to film as a whole, or are you just an enjoyer of it?
I mean, I love watching films, 100%. Absolutely. I've never been an actor, let me put it that way, and I'm certainly not like a writer. I love music. Like, I try to write my own music.
Oh wow!
Very badly, I should have caveat, but so who knows? One day I could write a film score, maybe. But I mean, that's
the dream, isn't it?
That's a long way off.
Then we also love to ask, what's your favorite film?
Oh my word! I mean, that's a difficult one.
There's
My
so
favorite,
many.
yeah, I know. I mean, some of the groundbreaking ones that I really like, the Matrix, when that first came out.
Love The Matrix.
That's a brilliant film. Scarface is another amazing
Classic.
film. Probably, like, any of the films that Guy Ritchie have done, I always think are amazing as well. I mean, there's too many to list, to be honest. I mean, yeah,
it really depends on the stage of life you're in.
Oh, I tell you what. Actually, what I saw the other day, which was really, 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 really good, was Despicable Me 4.
Oh, I've been meaning to watch that. I'm so sad I haven't.
Yeah, so I mean, I took my daughter to see it, and yeah, it's brilliant. It's like laugh out loud funny. So
Really?
yeah, I recommend that as well.
Oh, that's a film of my childhood too.
Yeah.
I think it's one of the first ones I've seen in the cinema.
Yeah, it's very good. So get down there and watch it.
I
if you
have
can.
to.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for your time.
That's all right. Well, thank you for having me. It's lovely to meet you.
It's lovely to meet you as well.
Cheers. Thank you.
Very calm,
Very
low stakes.
chillaxed.
Exactly. Are we ready to rumble? Okay. So thank you so much for joining me today. We're going to start off easy with your name and your connection to Somerset Film.
So my name is JC Ellis. I'm one of the project managers at Somerset Council that helped secure the Bridgwater Town Deal funding for the project.
And what was kind of the process of getting that going? And
so it went through quite a lot of consultation with a lot of stakeholders to get it down to the business case stage, really fundamentally kind of ironing out all of the details, what exactly it is that we wanted to achieve, working with, Debs in the engine room, and really trying to bottom out it is that we wanted to achieve for the facility, and convincing government that it was a fantastic project, and we managed to do that. So it's been great.
So I guess I have to ask, how do you like the new building? Is it everything you ever hoped for?
Yes, it's fantastic. I love walking by it and seeing kind of a new established facility, and just walking past and seeing the activities and people actually using the facility as well. It's really great to see. So very happy.
It's good to see your success. So why do you think the Somerset Film or institutions like it are so important for the community?
I think it's really important for programs like Somerset Film that reach the hard to reach demographics as well. It's not just young people, it's also about the older generation who may have sort of a little bit more skeptical in terms of technology, and introducing new ways of kind of digital media to them. So it's about reaching those different demographics and kind of showing that you can do all of these great things with technology and media, and how to have creative fun with it as well. So yeah, it's really impactful to the community.
Yeah, I think that's actually quite interesting, because when talking about technology and film, it's always talk about the young generations and what they're going to do. But we have so many creative people who just never found their connection to the technology. So do you think it's important to kind of bring older generations along with developments like this?
Absolutely. And for anybody that's kind of skeptical about sort of trying or starting, just take the plunge, take that first step. You never know, you might enjoy and find a new path.
It's not as scary as you think it is.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. Try new things.
Yes. And do you have a personal connection to film at all? Like, have you ever dabbled with it, or?
Never dabbled in sort of the filming side of it. I was once an aspiring actress at one point. Yeah, but definitely kind of enjoy the developing of projects and unfolding of that.
Equally as important.
Yeah, definitely. Just as creative.
Exactly,
And fun,
yeah.
So definitely.
And the dreaded question, what is your favorite film?
Oh, I think it really depends on the mood and the day.
Absolutely.
I'm quite a Disney fan, so get me cuddled up on the sofa with a Disney film is
very
is
nostalgic.
My kind of, like the nostalgic Disney film.
Do you have a favorite Disney princess?
Oh, not a princess girly, more of like a Ratatouille. Get me on the sofa
a classic.
with Ratatouille, and that's my point.
That's all you need.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
Well, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank
you for telling your side of the story.
No, thank you for having me. It's
Yeah,
great
of
to meet you.
course.
What did I miss?
Do I look at the camera? Look at you?
Whatever's best, really. Just if you want to just like have a conversation, or if you want to look into the camera, up to you.
Okay.
Talk to each other because we have two cameras.
Yep.
So you do. Okay.
So let's start off with your name and connection to Somerset Film.
Okay. My name is Ray Tew, and the connection that I have with Somerset Film is a long-standing one, because I used to run with colleagues a small organisation called Art Life, which was the West Somerset Arts Consortium. And we, as a consortium, took over the responsibility for delivering arts and culture to one section of Somerset. So we were one of the 5 counties, they were district councils of the county of Somerset, that actually funded arts and cultural activities, and Somerset Film was one of them. So we probably go back to the very beginning.
That's amazing. And how has like the building changed since you first started it then?
Wow, how's it changed? It's unrecognizable, I think. I think this is an object lesson in vision. And when you look downstairs at some of those images of the building and its previous uses, I actually remember when it was a Reliant Robin showroom. I certainly remember Anderson and Wall, but I just remember it being in need of love. It was, to say the least, dilapidated. So to take this on needed some real strength of character, forward vision, and tenacity. And that's what you see here today.
Brilliant. And how do you feel like the engine room in Somerset Film helps the local community?
I think the only thing, or the best thing that I can do to describe the impact, if that's what we're talking about, to the local community, is the discussions that I have had over the years with various funding bodies. And one of them, who shall remain nameless, when we talked about some of the excellent work that was going on and around in Somerset to develop community engagement, said to me, if Somerset Film didn't exist, we would have to invent it, because it had this unique ability to find areas of Somerset that didn't know they needed Somerset Film. But having had Somerset Film, the difference made to those communities can be seen in some of the work that's exhibited here today. So that was a major funder that said, if Somerset Film didn't exist, we would have to invent it.
Yeah. Wow.
I think that was an accolade that I've never heard anyone else given.
Brilliant. And then our last question is, what is your favourite film
My favourite film of all time?
that you've watched? Yeah.
Oh, good grief, that changes every week. I think if I'm really pressed, it's not going to be something that's going to be terribly impressive to those people who are film buffs. But as a young man, I remember watching Steve McQueen in Bullet. And when I drove out of the cinema car park in East London, there were about 700 Steve McQueens coming out of that car park in Mustang Mark IIs, and I was one of them. So I remember that film with great fondness. And when I look back at it now, it's dated, of course it is. But Steve McQueen, I think then in that Mustang was memorable.
Brilliant. Thank you. I think that's all we've got.
Brilliant. Thanks very much. So.
Yes, audio is cute.
That's us right there.
Right, I'll try and. I should know. I was only looking over there. I'm going to look at you.
Yes, we'll just talk amongst ourselves.
And what's your name?
I'm Mika.
Miga.
Yes, I'm visiting Bridgwater today. Yeah.
From.
I'm
interviewing her. Look.
I'm originally from Germany, but I'm visiting my good friend Ruby.
Hello, Ruby.
And we study in London together.
Oh, right.
So that's why I'm here.
What are you studying?
Film.
I thought you might be. So the thing is, I'm an ex-teacher. So I'm always kind of really interested in what young people are doing and where they're studying.
Oh, that's nice.
You know, you never lose that.
Yeah, I bet.
You always want to know a little bit about geography.
Ooh, nice.
Yes, so for many years, but then I decided to do other things. So.
Fair enough.
But yes, 16 years teaching geography.
Oh wow, that's cool.
In Bridgwater.
So you love it
I'm
here.
a proper Bridgwater girl.
Yep. Well, we already kind of had a bit of an introduction then, but we'll start from the beginning. What's your name and your connection to Somerset Film?
Okay, so my name's Jackie Solomon. I'm a local Bridgwater town councillor, and this year, the mayor. My connection to the film is more of the time, being in here and around. I've never really taken part in any particular events in the building, other than ones I've been invited to just to come and see what's going on. But my son, I'm sure, used to come here when he was, he's now 34, so it would have been a good 10, 15 years ago. And certainly his friend is a puppeteer.
Oh.
And he used to do a lot of creative things here.
Oh, that's cute.
And I think you probably could find on YouTube and some of them that would have been filmed here in the engine room. So
there's much history here.
So we've got a bit of history, but yes, and I'm a almost born and bred Bridgwater person, so I've lived here most of my life. My children were born here, and we've all been to school here. So
oh, cute.
Yeah.
So you've really seen the engine room grow from what it was to what it is now.
Absolutely, from just being, a little project that they didn't think would last more than a couple of years.
21 years later.
21 years later, and hopefully another 21 years. It's been lovely to see how the money that you've been able to get through the town deal, which was a lot of support from lots of different councils, but primarily from Bridgwater Town Council, which I have to push, obviously, because they're working together to access this money, which has enabled you to complete the refurbishment of the building, and it's really looking very smart now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Really nice.
Yeah. So what was the process of kind of getting this new, the development of the engine room going?
From the beginning, I'm not so sure how it all started, but I think Pauline gave us quite a good rundown earlier.
Good, yeah.
I don't know whether that was being broadcast or not, but she gave a really good synopsis of its development until this point. But I think seeing, that the extra money and the fact that you've now got 3 floors which you can fully access. As a councillor, I must say one of my key areas that I'm very fond of is the cafe.
Yes.
I think they do the nicest hot chocolate here in Bridgwater.
So now everyone has to come.
So we quite often after meetings in the town hall will adjourn to here.
Oh, that's nice.
To have a hot chocolate or two, so, and a gossip. So it's lovely having, making it a multifunctional space. I think is really helpful for everybody, so that you're more likely to get people to access it if they can come in and just have a cup of coffee or watch a little bit of film footage on one of the screens. Gets people in the door, and then they want to find out more about what actually you can do and offer here. I just had to go on the virtual headset downstairs, the AR.
How was that?
Quite scary. No, it was fascinating. I was exploring a gallery. It was,
And is it comparable with real life?
It was very large. I have been to a lot of art galleries recently. I went to Paris earlier this year.
Oh, wow.
I went to all the major art galleries there, and it actually felt even a bigger space
In the
AR than the ones. It was huge. Have you not tried it?
I have not.
Oh well,
I have.
give it a go, because you really are in a massive space, and you can move. Yeah.
I find it quite frightening.
Well, and Liam can show you. We kept it basic because
Okay.
I didn't have that much time, and I didn't want to fall over.
Exactly.
But you could see how you could move. I just was jumping around rather than not physically jumping, rather than walking.
Yeah.
But,
I'd be scared to run into a wall.
Well, yeah. I mean, he was showing me how it maps a room, and you wouldn't do, but another
know.
day I'll come and play a little bit longer.
Yeah. So you've already touched on this a bit, but why is Somerset Film or institutions like it so important for a community?
Well, I think I've just watched a fabulous film downstairs about people dancing with Parkinson.
Oh.
So if you've not had a chance to watch it, it's literally 5 minutes. It's down just in the room below us, and to give people of all ages, all abilities, the access to be able to take part in a project like that and see a finished item that they can really take pride in. And so I think they attended the dance group and things anyway, but then to have somebody go in and film and record and put that into, for posterity, for it never to be lost, I think is a lovely thing. So I think film and filmmaking has enabled people to be able to retain things for, over the 150 years or whatever of development. The fact you can see the real world still.
It's a bit of an archive.
That archive, yeah. And I've seen several bits of film footage here that Deb has shown us over different events. And and in fact, I was here in the cafe the other day, and I looked over and they were showing a little bit of film archive on one of the little screens just in the window. And I went, oh, I know what that's all about. And in fact, I've been able to tell Deb exactly what the event was for and who it was run by and what was happening. So
there you go. You learn something new.
So it's, I've since then told other people that this film is available, so they're going to come and look at it as well. So because
nice.
they would have been there. So this is going back to the 1970s.
Wow.
Possibly early 80s, but it was a long, for you a long time ago. For us, not so much.
Yeah.
Yes. So I think film is the way of preserving history, in a way, as well as artistic endeavour. You've got historical significance as well, haven't you?
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
And we always love to ask a very hard question. What's your favorite film?
Oh, so many. I have so many. I am a real film watcher. I love films.
That's so good to hear.
But the one I can always watch time and time again, which is not of any great sort of side, but I love Apollo 13.
Really?
I can watch that film and I know what happens and I know what's going to happen.
But
every
it's better.
But there are so many films that I can watch.
Any others? Any recommendations, maybe?
Oh, I don't know. What did I just watch just the other day? And I went, we were watching 51st Dates.
Oh, that's always a good time.
Because it's a bizarre film in so many ways. I mean, there's so many weird things going on, but the actual love story at the bottom
quite
of it is
cute.
absolutely lovely.
Yeah.
So that's a family go-to. But,
yes, very fun.
But I'm a big Pixar fan as well, so any of those, and Disney fan. So I just love films. Yeah,
that's then they're at the right place.
Hey, I'm definitely in the right place, but I'm sure I probably could come up with something a little bit more artistically relevant. But no, you've got to have things that you enjoy.
Exactly. Everyone loves films for different reasons.
Yeah,
and they're all important for different reasons.
So what about you? What's film for you?
Again, it's always really hard. I love the movie Rope by Alfred Hitchcock.
Right.
I don't know.
Funnily enough, I've watched a couple of Alfred Hitchcocks recently.
I've been getting back into it again.
For some reason, they were being shown on BBC Two, I think.
Something like that,
I watched Rear Window and Psycho and something else the other day. But no, Rope, I have seen it. But
I just love a movie set in one place. I think you can do so much with it, and the themes are always very intriguing, like feeling trapped and all these things.
Yeah.
So I think movies set in one room and for its time, the technical ability of moving such a big camera through such a tight space.
Right. Yeah, I'll have to go back and revisit that one then.
Yes,
I can only. It is sounding familiar, but I can't remember. the details of it particularly. Yeah.
That's one of my favorites.
You've got anything else?
So much, but who has the time?
I don't know. Yeah. So no, I visit the local cinema on a very as soon as there's anything that we might want to watch. My daughter and I go because it's nice. I'd like to see them in the you know.
We've recently been
big screen.
Yeah, we've recently been going to the Prince Charles Cinema because they
Where's that?
In London, because they do a lot of reruns of old things and things you might not be able to find anymore. And we watched another one of my favorite films, Blue, by Derek Jarman.
Yes, that rings a bell as well. Yes,
which is essentially just 70 minutes of a blue screen.
Yeah,
but it's such a gorgeous. It's so near and dear to my heart because it's about it's him chronicling kind of his life after being diagnosed with AIDS, and he lost his eyesight and could only see blue.
Oh, right.
So the screen is what he sees, and he's just It's like poetically explaining what it's like to be him in that time.
Well, we
love it.
Sorry, it's just reminded me that we have a famous connection with film critique in Bridgwater because we've got a chap called Kim Newman who lives in London, who was a film critic, particularly of all Dracula and horror movies and things like that. But he used to appear regularly on main TV, BBC TV film nights and things, talking about. And I used to go on the bus every day to school with him.
Really?
So, yeah.
Oh, that's fun.
Kim is still involved in writing and film critiquing and things.
Specifically
as well.
horror.
But specifically horror. Yeah. He does a daily Dracula on Facebook.
I got to look into that.
But if you look, but lots of people know. If you look him up, you'll find he is.
I think the name does ring a bell. Yeah.
He was a well-known film critic. So and archive, discusser of all films and film wise. So yeah,
it's very fun to do.
Yeah. So we Bridgwater's produced different artistic talents that have gone on wider and further as well.
And probably even more with the engine room.
Exactly. Let's hope so.
Well, thank you so much for this lovely conversation.
Yeah, and all one person. No, nobody watching now at all. 3 people.
So the people are interested.
Well, hello, lovely 3 people that are out there. They might just have it on in the background. They're probably not.
That's how podcasts become popular.
No, it's a lovely idea.
Yeah, thank you so much for your time.
No, I just wanted. I wasn't wandering up to get involved with this, but thank you for asking me to be involved.
Yeah, always.
Take care.
Thank you so much.
Fascinating.
Okay, hello, hello, hello. Oh, okay. Ready? Ready. Okay, so that is all we've got time for today. We had a few guests just talking about their connections with Somerset Film and this brilliant charity organisation. So yeah, thanks so much if there's anyone there. And if anyone's watching, thank you so much for watching.
Yeah, thanks for watching.
Brilliant. Thank you. Question.